again strengthened by an amplifier, are carried to the speaker, where they are converted back into sound, the same sound we had at first.
At the moment, I'm focused on this idea of tech bringing people closer together in kind of tangible reality. I don't know, my instant emotive response to when I hear different developments or potential developments of the metaverse and things like that, my instant reaction is just to feel slightly horrified for some reason. And I don't want to sound kind of Luddite about things, but I mean, I think with the pandemic and people being, so sort of isolated and physically separate, I like this idea of trying to use technology in different ways to sort of create experiences that involve movement of the physical body, touch, interacting with one another. So that's where I think kind of tangible objects come in for me, really. So for a bit of context behind that, I'm working on developing, it's like a tabletop interface kind of game, really, where you can sort of move objects, maybe have a game of noughts and crosses with somebody, and that generates a soundscape. And then other things of that nature as well. So involving, there's a real kind of idea of objecthood, but then in a really active way, so things that people can touch, and then of sort of constructing things. I like to build stuff. So, I mean, building little kind of contraptions to sort of, get audio from different objects. I started working with a program called Pure Data. So when I was doing my master's, there were a few of us that I did my master's in visual art practice in Delhi, and a few of us were really interested in working with audio. And then Pure Data it's free and open source, and a friend of mine basically showed us the basics, and then I sort of started delving into that more and more, and it was just bits and pieces of memory of seeing things that I'd experienced that I could interact with. Sort of, you move a piece of paper in front of a screen and something comes out of a printer, and I thought almost kind of instinctively knew that I wanted to try and make something like that work. At the moment, I'm working on a project called Echoes of Invention. So we're basically creating an updated, modern, present-day rendition of Delia Derbyshire Echoes for radio. So that's with Caro C, Charles Cragg and Connor Nolan. And there was also Lisa Franklin, who was facilitating a lot of the recording that took place. So we've basically taken a similar process of recording ordinary voices in the community, and around 4 different topics, so afterlife, aging, dreams, and faith with the existence of God. So we're kind of right in the middle of that process at the moment, and kind of aiming towards an interactive audio installation at the end of it. That's going to be a crazy couple of months. And then, I'm in with my friend George in a project called Human Oils, and we're an experimental drone project, which also involves a lot of, it's just like a creative playground, really. It's that kind of vibe. So we've got a launch event on the 25th of March, and we're trying to make it fun and interesting.